Alex was an ordinary man living in a small apartment in the city. He worked a normal job and had a quiet life. One day, something very unusual happened that changed his life forever. It was a day like any other, but Alex was about to meet someone who was not from this world. It started when Alex heard strange noises outside his window late at night. Curious, he went to look and saw a small, glowing light moving quickly in the sky. It looked like a tiny star falling, but it did not disappear. Instead, it landed in the park near his building. Alex felt a mix of fear and excitement. He wanted to see what it was, but he also knew it could be dangerous. The next morning, Alex decided to go to the park to check if anything was there. To his surprise, he found a small, quiet figure sitting under a tree. She looked human, but also very different. Her skin had a soft glow, and her eyes were larger than normal. Alex could not believe what he was seeing. She was an alien. A real alien. The alien looked tired and confused. Alex wanted to help her, even though he was scared. He spoke to her slowly and kindly, asking if she was okay. She nodded and gave a small smile. Alex decided that he could not just leave her alone. He invited her to come live with him until she figured out what to do next. At first, living with an alien seemed like it would be very hard. Alex thought they might fight or have many problems, but to his surprise, Zara, that was the name she chose, was easy to live with. She was polite, quiet, and tried hard to understand human ways. She cooked simple meals, cleaned the apartment, and even learned how to use the television. Zara told Alex stories about her planet. She explained that her world was very different from Earth. The sky was green, and the plants were bright blue. People there used technology that looked like magic to humans. Alex listened with wide eyes, fascinated by everything she said. Although her stories were strange, he enjoyed hearing them. It was like living with a living science book. They quickly developed a daily routine. Every morning, Zara would prepare breakfast with curiosity and care. Alex taught her how to make coffee and toast. In the afternoon, they talked about their different lives, and in the evenings, they watched movies together. Zara loved Earth's movies, especially comedies and nature documentaries. Alex liked how she laughed and pointed out things he had never noticed before. Zara was also very respectful. She always asked before using Alex's things and never made a mess. She showed great interest in human culture. She asked many questions about simple things like money, friendship, and weather. Alex realized she was not just an alien from another planet, but someone who wanted to belong and understand this new world. Neighbors sometimes noticed something different about Zara. She moved quietly and sometimes looked lost in thought. But Alex told them she was a friend visiting from another country, and they believed him. He wanted to keep her safe and hidden because he knew the world might not accept her if they found out she was an alien. Living together was peaceful at first. Zara learned fast, and Alex enjoyed having company. It was not lonely anymore. He often thought about how strange life had become, but also how lucky he was. Most people never got to meet an alien or share their home with one. He felt proud to help her and keep her secret. Sometimes Zara did funny things. One day, she tried to use a spoon like a tool to open a locked door. Alex laughed and explained that keys worked better. Another time, she looked amazed at a bird flying outside the window. For her, Earth was full of wonders that Alex took for granted. Even though Zara was from a different world, Alex felt a strong connection to her. She was gentle, curious, and kind-hearted. She reminded him to see the world with new eyes and appreciate small things. Alex also noticed how much he was learning from her, not just about space or science, but about patience and friendship. There were moments when Alex worried about Zara. He knew she missed her home and family. Sometimes she would look at the stars, silently, as if trying to send a message. Alex wanted to help her find a way back, but also hoped she would stay safe with him. The first few weeks went by quickly. Alex and Zara became used to each other's habits. The apartment felt like a small world where two very different beings lived in harmony. It was easy to forget that one of them was not from Earth. Despite the challenges, Alex believed that living with Zara was a chance to do something important. He was helping someone who needed him, and in return, he was discovering a new world through her eyes. The fear of the unknown slowly changed into excitement and hope. This was just the beginning of their story. Alex did not yet know what would happen next, but he was ready to face it. Living with an alien was easy, at least for now. They were two friends learning how to live together in a world that was full of surprises. As days turned into weeks, Alex and Zara's lives became more connected. Alex was eager to learn more about Zara's alien world, and Zara was curious about Earth and its people. Their conversations grew longer and deeper, and Alex felt like he was discovering a whole new universe through her stories. Zara began to tell Alex about her home planet, which she called Leora. It was very different from Earth. The sky on Leora was a bright green color, and there were two suns that lit up the land. The plants were tall and blue, and the animals looked unlike anything Alex had ever seen. She explained that the people of Leora were peaceful and cared deeply about nature and knowledge. Zara also described the technology her people used. It was far advanced compared to Earth's. They had machines that could heal injuries quickly, vehicles that floated in the air, and devices that allowed communication across galaxies. Alex was amazed to hear these things. He asked many questions, and Zara was happy to explain. Despite her advanced background, Zara found Earth's simple things very interesting. She was fascinated by how people cooked food, wore different clothes, and lived in buildings made of wood and bricks. Alex enjoyed showing her around the city whenever he had free time. He took her to parks, museums, and even to a local market. Zara observed everything with wide eyes and asked many questions. Living together was not always easy, though. Zara sometimes struggled to understand human emotions. For example, she found it difficult to understand why people smiled when they were sad, or why someone might cry at happy moments. Alex tried to explain that humans feel many emotions at the same time, and that it is normal to have mixed feelings. Zara's way of thinking was very logical and clear, which sometimes made her seem distant or confused about human behavior. But Alex was patient and tried to help her see things from a human point of view. He told her stories about friendship, love, and kindness, hoping she could feel what those words meant. There were also practical challenges in keeping Zara's presence a secret. Alex had to be careful about whom he invited to the apartment. He worried that if anyone found out Zara was an alien, they might react with fear or anger. So he told his friends that Zara was a special guest from a far country, someone who needed privacy. Sometimes Alex would hear strange noises coming from the apartment, and he knew Zara was experimenting with some of her alien gadgets. She was curious about how things worked on Earth, and often tried to use her technology to help them both. One night, Alex found her working on a small device that could project light in beautiful patterns. It was both fascinating and mysterious. Zara also had her own ways of doing things that were different from humans. For example, she needed less sleep than Alex, but she spent a lot of time meditating to recharge her energy. She had special exercises that helped her stay healthy and calm. Alex tried some of these exercises too, and he noticed they helped him relax after a long day. Though Zara was adjusting well, there were moments when she felt lonely. She missed her family and her home planet. She told Alex about the stars she used to see and the friends she left behind. Sometimes she would stand by the window at night, looking up at the sky, wishing she could send a message home. Alex wanted to help her feel better. He promised to do everything he could to protect her and find a way to contact her people. He knew it would not be easy, but he believed that together they could find solutions. Their friendship grew stronger because of these shared hopes and challenges. Zara also started to learn more about Earth's social customs. She watched how people greeted each other, how they celebrated holidays, and how they showed respect. Sometimes, she made mistakes, like bowing too deeply or not understanding jokes, but Alex laughed gently and helped her learn. One funny moment was when Zara tried to learn how to dance. Alex put on some music, and she moved awkwardly at first, but she was determined to get it right. After many tries, she began to enjoy it and even made Alex laugh with her unusual but charming moves. Life with Zara was full of surprises. Alex realized that even though she was very different, they shared many things in common. They both wanted to be accepted, to be safe, and to find happiness. Their differences made their friendship unique and exciting. Alex sometimes wondered what other people would think if they knew about Zara. Would they be scared or curious? Would they try to help or hurt her? He decided that for now, the most important thing was to keep her safe and happy. Zara, too, felt a growing trust in Alex. She knew that he was kind and honest, and that he cared for her not just as a guest, but as a true friend. She felt lucky to have found someone who accepted her without judgment. Despite the challenges and secrets, life was peaceful. Alex and Zara continued to live together in harmony. They shared meals, stories, and quiet moments. They learned from each other and grew closer every day. The small apartment became a place of discovery and hope. It was a little world where two very different beings could live side by side, learning about each other and the universe. Alex felt ready to face whatever came next. He was no longer just a regular man, but someone who had become part of an extraordinary story. And Zara, the alien who had come to Earth, found a new home and a friend she could trust. Their journey had only just begun. One evening, after a long day filled with talking and learning, Alex and Zara were getting ready for bed. Their daily routine was usually calm and peaceful. Alex was used to having Zara nearby, and she was comfortable in his home. But that night, something unexpected happened, something that changed their friendship in a way neither of them had planned. Alex had fallen asleep on his side of the bed, thinking about the strange and wonderful things he had learned from Zara that day. Zara, however, was feeling a little confused and unsure about one of the many customs humans had. She had heard people say that sleeping close to someone was a sign of friendship and trust. On her home planet, close contact meant safety and connection. So, without thinking much about it, Zara quietly moved from her place on the couch and crawled into Alex's bed. When Alex woke up in the middle of the night, he felt a soft weight beside him. His eyes slowly opened, and to his surprise, he saw Zara lying close to him. He was startled at first, unsure what to think or say. This was not how things had been before. He remembered all the times they talked about respecting each other's space, and now she was right there, much closer than usual. Alex didn't want to upset Zara or make her feel unwelcome. He knew that she was still learning about human behavior and might not fully understand how personal space worked on Earth. So instead of waking her with words, he quietly watched her. He noticed how peaceful she looked, how calm and trusting she seemed. It was clear she had no bad intentions. She was simply seeking comfort in a way that was natural to her. The next morning, when Zara woke up, she felt a little nervous. She realized what she had done might be strange to Alex or to humans in general. She wanted to explain why she came into his bed, but wasn't sure how. She didn't want to make things awkward or ruin their friendship. Alex noticed Zara's worry. He wanted to make sure she knew that he was not angry or upset. He smiled gently and told her it was okay, but also explained that in human culture, people usually respect personal space, especially when sleeping. He said it didn't change how much he cared about her or their friendship, but that it was important to understand these differences so they could live together happily. Zara listened carefully. She realized that even though people might do things differently, they both wanted to feel safe and respected. She promised to be more careful about boundaries, but also hoped Alex would understand her feelings. This event opened a new chapter in their relationship. It showed them that living together was more complicated than just sharing a home. They had to learn how to balance their own needs with respect for each other's feelings and culture. It was a delicate dance of understanding and patience. After that night, they started talking more openly about their emotions and boundaries. Zara shared how, on her planet, close contact was a way to show trust and care. Alex explained how humans often need space to feel comfortable, but also that sometimes people share their space to show closeness in their own way. Their conversations were honest and sometimes difficult, but they helped both of them grow. Alex realized that Zara's actions were not strange or wrong. They were simply different. And Zara understood that learning new customs was part of living on Earth. To help each other, they made a plan. They would talk if either of them ever felt uncomfortable, and they would respect each other's wishes. They promised to be patient and kind, knowing that understanding takes time. Even with the awkwardness of that night, Alex and Zara's friendship grew stronger. They laughed about the situation later, making jokes and sharing smiles. It was clear they cared deeply for each other, even when things were confusing. This moment also made Alex think about how people from different cultures, not just planets, sometimes struggle to understand each other. He saw how important it was to listen and be open-minded, especially when living closely with someone so different. Zara, for her part, felt grateful for Alex's kindness and patience. She knew she could trust him to help her learn and to accept her, even when she made mistakes. This trust gave her comfort in a strange new world. In the days that followed, they continued their life together with a new understanding. They were more aware of each other's feelings and more careful about respecting personal space. But they also found new ways to show care and friendship that suited both of their worlds. One evening, they watched the stars together from the rooftop of Alex's building. Zara pointed out constellations from her planet and told stories about her people's history. Alex shared his own favorite stories about Earth's night sky. Sitting side by side, they felt connected in a way that went beyond words or culture. The night that Zara crawled into Alex's bed was a turning point. It was a moment of surprise and confusion, but also a moment of growth and understanding. It reminded them both that living together was a journey of learning and adapting. Alex no longer saw Zara just as an alien guest, but as a true friend who had become part of his life. Zara no longer felt like a visitor, but like someone who had found a home. Together, they faced the challenges of their differences and found strength in their friendship. The story of that night was not one of fear or conflict, but one of kindness and acceptance. It was a reminder that even when things change suddenly and unexpectedly, people, or aliens, can find ways to understand each other and grow closer. Their journey was far from over, but with every challenge, Alex and Zara proved that friendship could cross any boundary, even those between worlds. After the night Zara crawled into Alex's bed, their friendship changed in a quiet but important way. Both of them realized that to live together peacefully, they needed to understand each other better and respect personal boundaries. It was a new challenge for both, but one they were willing to face. Alex and Zara began having deeper talks about their feelings, fears, and hopes. Before, they mostly talked about facts, Zara's home planet, Earth's customs, or daily routines. Now, they spoke about what made them comfortable or uncomfortable, and how to show care in ways the other could understand. Zara explained that on her planet, people often shared close physical contact to show respect and trust. They would stand close or touch gently as a sign of friendship. But on Earth, she learned that many people needed their own space to feel safe. This was new to her, and she found it interesting to learn how people expressed affection in different ways. Alex shared his feelings, too. He said that for him, space was important because it helped him think and relax. But he also liked when friends sat close or shared quiet moments. He realized that physical closeness could mean many things depending on culture and situation. Because they were so different, Alex and Zara decided to set some simple rules to help them live together happily. They agreed to always ask before touching or sharing personal space, and to speak openly if something made them uncomfortable. This way, they could avoid misunderstandings and build more trust. These new rules helped both of them feel safer. Alex felt more comfortable knowing Zara would respect his space, and Zara felt happier knowing she could ask questions if she was unsure. They were learning to live together not just as roommates, but as true friends who cared deeply for each other. Their days became filled with small acts of kindness that showed how much they valued their friendship. Alex started making breakfast for Zara sometimes, while she learned to prepare his favorite meals. They shared books and music, teaching each other about their different worlds. One afternoon, Zara invited Alex to try a meditation exercise from her planet. It was a quiet moment of breathing and focusing, and Alex found it helped him feel calm. He appreciated how Zara wanted to share something important from her culture, and how open she was to learning about his world, too. Despite the new understanding between them, living together still brought some challenges. Zara sometimes missed her home very much, and Alex could see the sadness in her eyes. He did his best to comfort her, reminding her that she was not alone. He promised to help her find a way to communicate with her family and friends back home. At the same time, Alex felt pressure from the outside world. He worried about what might happen if anyone discovered Zara was an alien. He kept their secret carefully, but the fear of losing her or having her taken away was always there. This worry made him more protective and determined to keep her safe. Zara noticed Alex's concern and tried to reassure him. She told him she trusted him completely and that she believed they could face anything together. This trust gave Alex strength and hope. Their friendship grew stronger with each passing day. They found joy in simple things, like watching the sunset from the balcony, sharing stories about their childhoods, or laughing at misunderstandings about Earth customs. One evening, they played a game where they tried to teach each other words from their languages. Zara taught Alex how to say friend in her language, and Alex taught her some common English phrases. They laughed as they stumbled over strange sounds, but they enjoyed the fun of learning together. Alex also noticed how much Zara's presence had changed his life. He felt more open, curious, and patient than ever before. Living with someone so different had opened his mind and heart in ways he never expected. Zara, too, felt changed. She no longer saw Earth as a strange, confusing place, but as a home where she could belong. She was grateful for Alex's kindness and the friendship they had built. Though she missed her planet, she knew she was safe and cared for here. One day, Alex suggested they work on a plan to contact Zara's people. They looked online for ways to send signals into space or reach out to any friendly aliens who might help. Though it was difficult, they enjoyed working together toward a goal that gave them hope. In the meantime, they focused on their daily lives. They kept learning from each other, respecting boundaries, and sharing kindness. Their story was one of two very different beings, finding a way to live together in harmony. The night Zara had crawled into Alex's bed was a challenge they had faced and overcome. It taught them the importance of communication, respect, and trust. It reminded them that friendship could grow even when boundaries were tested. Alex and Zara knew their journey was far from over. They would face new challenges and surprises, but they were ready. Together, they had found something special, an honest connection that crossed worlds and differences. Living with an alien was no longer just easy or strange. It was meaningful. Their friendship was a light in the unknown, a proof that understanding and kindness could build bridges even between the most different beings. And so, Alex and Zara continued their journey, learning, growing, and living side by side. They showed that even in a world full of unknowns, friendship and respect could create a home. As time passed, Alex and Zara settled into a new normal. Their lives were different from anything either of them had imagined before. Living together had started as a surprise and sometimes a challenge, but now it was something both of them treasured deeply. Their friendship had grown into something very special, something that felt like home. Each day brought new moments of learning and understanding. Alex discovered more about Zara's world, her feelings, and how she saw life. Zara, in return, grew more comfortable with Earth's ways and with the idea that this strange planet might be where she belonged for now. They found comfort in the small routines they created together. Every morning, Alex would make coffee while Zara prepared breakfast, a simple gesture that felt like a warm tradition. They talked about everything, the stars, their dreams, and the funny little things that happened in their daily lives. Zara still missed her home sometimes. There were moments when she looked out the window at the night sky, thinking about her family and friends far away. But she no longer felt alone. Alex was there, and their friendship was a bridge between two worlds. One day, Alex brought home a small telescope. He wanted to help Zara see the stars more clearly, to feel closer to her home planet. Together they spent many nights looking up at the sky, pointing out constellations, and imagining the vast universe beyond Earth. Their conversations about the stars reminded them of how much they had in common despite their differences. Both of them wanted to explore, to learn, and to connect. They realized that friendship could cross even the greatest distances, whether between cities or galaxies. Living together was not always perfect. Sometimes Zara's alien habits still surprised Alex. She would hum softly when she was thinking or use gestures that Alex didn't understand at first. But instead of being frustrated, Alex learned to appreciate these quirks as part of who Zara was. Zara also learned to adjust. She became more aware of human feelings and social customs. She was careful not to invade Alex's personal space without asking, and always tried to communicate openly when she was unsure. Their patience with each other helped build a strong foundation for their life together. They also continued working on ways to reach Zara's people. Using Alex's computer and some of Zara's technology, they sent messages into space. Although they did not know if anyone would answer, the hope of reconnecting with her home gave them both strength and comfort. Through everything, Alex and Zara never lost their sense of humor. They laughed at their mistakes, enjoyed silly moments, and found joy in their unusual but beautiful friendship. Their bond was a reminder that even the strangest situations could bring happiness when met with kindness and openness. One afternoon, they invited a close friend of Alex's over. He didn't know about Zara's true identity, but was kind and curious. Alex hoped that one day more people could understand and accept Zara for who she was. For now, they took small steps, sharing their lives carefully. Their life together became a story of hope. Hope that two very different beings could live side by side in peace. They showed that understanding and respect could overcome fear and confusion. Alex no longer saw Zara as just an alien visitor. She was family. Zara felt that Earth, with all its differences and challenges, was a place where she could grow and belong. Their friendship was proof that home is not just where you come from, but where you feel accepted and loved. Looking back, Alex remembered how strange it all seemed when he first found Zara in the park. Now he couldn't imagine life without her. She had changed his world, opened his mind, and filled his days with wonder. Zara knew that her journey was far from over. One day, she hoped to return to her planet, but she also knew that Earth had become a part of her story. Whatever the future held, she was grateful to have found a friend who believed in her and stood by her side. Together, they faced the unknown with courage and kindness. Their story was a reminder that friendship could cross any boundary, heal any fear, and bring light even in the darkest times. Living with an alien had started as something easy, then complicated. But now it was simply life, a life full of hope, trust, and true friendship.